Happy spring. I continue to be enthused about the energy shift of that east energy of the spring I've been talking about in some of these videos. And personally, I'm just really excited for spring this year. This video will be maybe a little different than most of my videos. There's going to be kind of an update in the work, a kind of an announcement quality to this video. There will be some kind of teachings, laced in with it, but I just want to let you know there's a lot of changes going on in the work that I do and natural way of being. And I just wanted to kind of talk about that. So if you're interested, you kind of know what they are and kind of where I'm coming from. So first of all, the biggest announcement, the thing I've been really working on, I shouldn't say the biggest announcement, but maybe the most time sensitive announcement is I did open up the registration for our fall equinox retreat. And there's a theme is going to be inviting beauty into your life. And the word beauty here is maybe a little different than our culture typically talks about it. It's more of a Native American reference. I don't know if you've ever heard Native folks that talk about beauty and kind of the way of beauty. And it's not just, it's everything. It's the beauty of the way we walk. It's the beauty of our hearts and what we feel and our intention, and the beauty of our, certainly externally as well. And the beauty, just enjoying the beauty and allowing beauty into our life. When we do these retreats, I've spoken about this before. One of the phrases that ends up coming up, and usually in a sharing circle at one of the retreats, is how much beauty can you allow in your life? How much love, you could say. How much goodness, how much beauty. How much abundance are you able to allow into your life? Now that sounds silly, right? I mean, of course, we'd say more beauty is better, right? So why not just, sign me up for as much as you can give me, universe, spirit. You can give me, send it my way. I want some beauty. And the reality is that I've learned in this work is it may be that spirit is trying to send you all this beauty, and you, I'll just say, we may have a difficulty accepting it. Now, why would that be? It really gets into kind of this self-worth issue in a hurry, where we've gotten some unfortunate conditioning, usually early, and then through our relationships and whatever in our lives, we've learned that maybe we don't deserve that much beauty, and therefore, as much as we're drawn to beauty and our heart has an affinity with beauty, because our open heart is beauty, we are beauty, as much our mind, maybe our ego, our mind, our conditioning kind of bumps into that. It's like, that's more beauty than I'm comfortable with. And it actually gets scary as we allow more in. So what happens when we hit this threshold of beauty is we begin to, usually unconsciously, kind of not allow it in. We kind of push it away, or we avoid it, or we unconsciously sabotage it even. I've seen that. I've seen it in my own life, and which is very unfortunate. So if we can work in this retreat, in this fall, it's going to be September 16 through 20. It's over by Brookings, Oregon, right on the Chetco River at the Chetco River Inn. If during this retreat, we can stretch ourselves internally to allow more beauty in to our life and not push it away, and see what it bumps into. Like what is the part inside? What are the belief systems? What are the fears? What are the wounds? What are the, whatever it is, what are the issues that are preventing me from accepting beauty? And then can we look at those things, and then we can do some ceremony around those, release them away, open the door, and invite more beauty in. So we're going to be doing a sweat lodge, a medicine lodge, several sharing circles, some what would we call them? Some guided meditations, but shamanic journeys would be a good way to call them on retreat, where we kind of do some journeying. We'll do a little mini vision quest. We're going to do a healing circle. Some of you were at the last retreat will be doing a lot of those things again. And so when we do Sweat Lodge and some of these ceremonies, we'll do this insight work, and then in the second round, we can release away, the things that have been preventing us from allowing beauty in our heart. And then during the third round, when we offer our intention, we can invite beauty into our lives, into our hearts, and we can support each other to carry beauty together as a people. So that's a little bit about that. I am very excited about it. Due to the nature of this, it's in the Chetco River Inn, right on the Chetco. We'll be able to do sweat right on the Chetco River. It's beautiful. It's one of those rivers that just is literally like the beautiful light blue, clear water. It's like just amazing. Kind of like the Smith River, if you've seen that. It has this beautiful, pristine water. There's a little swimming hole there. You can jump in after lodge if you want. We'll be able to do the lodge right on the bank of the river. It's going to be really cool. And because it's close to the coast, we can do a fire, even though it's in the fall, because of the way the climate is there. So due to the nature of the way Chetco River Inn charges me for the space, I need to have a minimum of 10 people. So the other thing is I know I'm coming out kind of late. We have about 3 months, because by say July 1st, I want to have, people decide and register by July 1st, because that's when I need to make the first big payment to Chetco River. And there's a real practical part of this. And so, these retreats are a lot of work, and I even asked Spirit. I did a lot of ceremony for all these announcements I'm going to make here. I did a lot of ceremony and asked Spirit, and really sat with myself. I did some coaching sessions around this, lots of meditation, I Chings, etc., to just decide where I needed to be on some of these things. And Spirit is just really clear that these retreats are a really important part of the work. Ideally twice a year. Right now we're doing one a year, because, just getting 10 people to sign up twice a year. When we can do that, we will. But we'll start with once a year. So if you have any interest in this, get in touch with me. If you have any concerns, it's going to cost $875, which includes lodging, indoor lodging, and food as well, and the retreat itself. So it's that way. So anyway, moving on. The other thing that's going on is, I guess I want to talk about the special kind of community, kind of the secret, I want to call it the secret weapon, but the true magic of the retreat is, and we have this in Sharing Circle too, when we do these sharing circles and we build the Sweat Lodge together and we talk in circle and we're vulnerable and we celebrate and we grieve and we cry and we support and we share and we expose. There's a lot of vulnerability at these. We're like sharing what's real. So, and that requires vulnerability. And when we see each other's vulnerability and support each other's vulnerability, there's a type of kind of acceptance and belonging that gets created, where these other people, these, at least 9 other people, 10 other people, because I'll be there as well, are going to be supporting you exactly as you are. And we do everything. We basically live together for like 4.5 days, and we see each other at our best and at our saddest and at our most raw and most vulnerable and all of that. And we support each other and we laugh together and we sit around the fire together. So there's this real special type of community that our culture doesn't really do much anymore, and it's not able to, which is the way it's structured. Now we have community, like I love community here in Ashland, Oregon too, and that's also really cool. This level of community is a deeper sense of community, and that's the most powerful part of these retreats. And so that leads me into Sharing Circle, because that's also the intention of Sharing Circle, is to create this community. Now, right now, we're doing it on video conference. We're doing it on Zoom, and it's been every Wednesday night. Now, in our Sharing Circle, we've had several people that, for whatever reason, aren't coming to it anymore, and they're doing other things. And we got down to not very many people in our Sharing Circle. So I am also setting a minimum of 8 people for the Sharing Circle. In the meantime, we're going to do the Sharing Circle every other week. And if we can get it up to 8 people, we can start doing it every week again, if that's what the people in the circle want. So we'll do every other week. And that got me thinking, is what if I could put some packages together where we were doing kind of a Sharing Circle and then individual session and then Sharing Circle every other week, and that just is because that's always been my favorite combination of doing some individuals coaching. I call them spiritual integration sessions or relationship sessions or men's sessions, whatever, dream sessions, the individual sessions, and then go to Sharing Circle. So you can go deep and go deep in your individual session, and then you can go out and be with your people in every other week. So I did put some packages together for that. It'll be just $50 to be in a month to be in the Sharing Circle every other week. It'll be $160 a month, and this is like a subscription kind of thing. It's a commitment, and I'm looking for commitment, and that's kind of what I've been hearing from Spirit. We need commitment to do the work. $160 a month, which you'd have a credit card on file. It would be drawn out at the beginning of the month or whenever you start, and that would be the every other Sharing Circle and 1 individual session a month. And then for $270, we can do 2 every other Sharing Circle and 2 individual sessions. So you could almost do it like every other week, like I said. And that's the ultimate, I think, the most powerful practice I know. So the 3 components then that I'm recommending and inviting you to consider are doing a retreat once a year, and then doing Sharing Circle, and then doing into some individual sessions. Now, I know that's an investment of time and money, and it may not be for everyone, but I just wanted to announce that because that's kind of what Spirit's excited about. That's kind of what I'm seeing. The best work seems to happen with as many of those components as possible. So a few other announcements. I'm starting a private practice, a psychotherapy practice, and I started putting that together last summer. It's taking longer than I suspected. It's way more work than I suspected, as is often the case with good projects. And that means I will be able to accept insurance for psychotherapy sessions in the state of Oregon and soon in the state of Washington. And so if that's something that's interesting, let me know. And for a while, there's a lot of work because I'm keeping my job at the hospital until I get enough clients. And then, so right now it's really busy. So there's some changes going on too with some of the things I offer. Okay. And one of the things is there's a few, I guess you'd call them, I don't know if I'd want to call them casualties, but with change in investing, putting my energy in new things means I have less energy for some of the things I've been doing. One of the things are these videos, the video blogs and the newsletter that kind of goes with them. And I've been doing those every week. Lately, I haven't been doing them every week, but I did them every week for years. And they're going to go down to more like once a month. There might be some extras. There might be a couple of times a month, but they'll definitely be every month. And because that's just a pure time thing where they're just to keep all the balls up in the air. It takes a lot of time to put one of these together. The other thing that I'm not going to be doing that's kind of run its course, I guess, is the Dream Group, which I've been doing every other Tuesday night. I'm no longer going to be doing that. We're going to have our last one this coming Tuesday night. We're going to do kind of a sharing circle to celebrate the work. It's been going on for 5 years or so. The good news is some of the participants in that Dream Group are going to continue the work without me. And they've been hanging out with me for the last 5 years, and a lot of them study Jungian stuff, and they're pretty serious about dream interpretation. So that is going to be there. It just won't be with me. And really want to celebrate the work that happened with that. So those are some announcements. I think I've gotten them all. I'm looking at my little list here to make sure. I believe those are all my announcements. So I just wanted to update you if you start seeing fewer newsletters or what happened to the Dream Group. Well, why are we only doing Sharing Circle every other week? Some of these things I just wanted to address them and make some suggestions and celebrate the work. I really am enthusiastic about the opportunity to do psychotherapy, to do retreats, to do some of these packages with sharing circles and individual sessions. So if you have any questions, get in touch with me. I'm happy to chat with you on the phone. And we can also, with the programs, if you see kind of one of these packages with like individual and sharing circles or whatever else, though there's some flexibility. You can create your own package as well, your own thing, and it has a bit of a reduced rate if you commit to doing it every month. That what happens is these numbers I gave you, the $270, that's like about a 10% off at least, down from what it would be if you did those things separately, because I'm trying to create incentive to do these things. If you have interest, we can put a package together that works for you. And I think that's all I have. Thank you for your attention. I'll talk to you sometime soon, no longer than a month from now. And I hope you really enjoy your spring and your new year at these challenging times. And please remember, to have community in your life with your people. It's rough out there. So remember to support each other and take care of yourself during these challenging times. Lots of self-compassion. And I will see you sometime soon.